A quiet space talks about the shadows, struggles hidden in daily life.
Yo, this is a voice talking to you. This podcast talks in a quiet tone about living life, feeling I'm out of zone. Mental health, family, everyday stress. No hype, no hope, push, no fake success. Parents and kids, when words don't land. A home that breaks, what should understand. Normal stories don't fit the frame. When talking hurts and silence remains.
Thank you for tuning in. This is the podcast where I cover about life struggles and family issues. Firstly, I don't know if this sounds neurodivergent thing, but I get more motivated and focused when I'm uncomfortable. When I'm comfortable, I'm honesty at a trait. Maybe it's a quirk or something, but I work better in unpleasant situation. It's really inconvenient. Next, she should have said, when we use the expensive tofu, but instead, she said, when we bought, my mother said, when we bought the expensive tofu, she mixed it up. She mixed it up and said, when we bought the tofu instead of when we use it. Next, she deleted my favorite list again. She kept doing it without thinking. She wiped my favorite list again. I rarely don't think before deleting stuff. Next, it happened yesterday. I told her to use shirodashi, but I told her to use less shirodashi, but she acted like nothing changed from last time. Even though I said use less broth, she still approached it exactly like before. She acted like nothing changed from last time. She still approached it like before. Next, I was surprised to see the athlete who didn't win gold medal ran over to congratulate the gold medalist. They must be really frustrated, so I couldn't quite understand it. I found it kinda strange that the street who didn't get gold that's over to the gold medalist. I mean, they have to be disappointed, right? I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Next, I finally came up with a good idea for how to use the tofu, and then she suddenly bought a different kind. Everything fell apart. Everything fell apart. But she didn't even realize it. But it felt like bad luck for me there. I've been eating tofu the same way. Got a good idea, and right then, she brought home different tofu. It's ruined the whole plan. She was totally unfazed, but it feels like she a walking jinx. It feels like she a walking jinx. Next, I know I shouldn't attack meaning to everything. I know I shouldn't attach meaning to everything. But I feel like I shouldn't try to attach meaning to everything I do. But when I'm just living my everyday life, I sometimes think, instead of wasting time like this, I could have been saving money, and that thought makes me feel kinda miserable. I know I shouldn't overthink everything. I know I shouldn't overthink everything, but sometimes I wonder if it should have been saving money instead of just killing time. It makes me feel bad. Next, around 1998, when Dragon Ball ended, none of the kids around me liked it. My timing was awful. Back then, nobody around me was into Dragon Ball. Considering how popular it is across generations, that was just bad luck. Of course, it is popular with all generations. So I had a question. Reason is there wasn't any new anime released. So basically, it was just really bad luck. Next, I tried making chicken with the same seasoning as beef tongue, and the chicken flavor disappeared. I don't get dish that kills the taste of the main ingredient. Using Tanshio made seasoning on chicken made it taste like nothing. Using Tanshio seasoning on chicken made it taste like nothing. I don't understand cooking that hide the ingredient flavor. I don't understand cooking that hides the ingredient, the flavor. Next, I had on TED that you can learn something in 20 hours if you are not aiming to go pro. I've always done the same. That's TED Talk said me only need about 20 hours to get decent at something. That's much exactly how I always felt. I think my skills already improved for about 3 weeks. If I do it efficiently. That's also matched exactly how I've always felt. To me, the growth covers maybe 3 weeks with good method. But this guy get to give talk, but no matter how innovation idea are, they'll never see the light of day. I'll never see the light of day. He gets to be on stage, but even if I come up with something, groundbreaking, nobody will ever notice. Most things are just combinations of a few patterns. Thinking about teeny details is mostly self-satisfaction. It doesn't matter much to others. Everything is basically pattern mixing. Obsessing over details is just for yourself. Other people barely notice. Japanese craftsmen spend 10 years on tiny details, but honestly, the American approach feels more efficient. They don't do endless grit training like Japan. Japan takes forever to master things and relies on endurance training, while the US is way more practical about it. Japanese people think I have to stick to the same club actively for years. In Japan, there's this idea that I must stay in the same club for several years. Next, people say you only need a few hundred words for daily English, but then tell you to memorize tones once you level up. It's contradictory. They claim a daily conversation only needs a few hundred words. Yet reader insist you run doesn't. It feels like a scam. It feels like a scam. It makes them look like liar or scammers, or just people too clueless to notice the contradiction. They either sound like frauds, or like they're too dumb to realize they're contradicting themselves. They either sound like fraud or like they're too dumb to realize they're contradicting themselves. Next, when I was a kid in that religion, I couldn't understand why the kids were so motivated. Why other kids were so motivated? Growing up, in that religious environment. I never got why everyone else seemed to drive in. When I was a kid in a religious group, of course, everything felt grey to me. I couldn't understand why the kids were so eager. Next, when we are really focused, when you are really focused, you don't have room. You don't have room to recall past failures. Doing something seriously takes commitment. Doing something takes commitment. If we are truly absorbed in something, there are no space to remember mistakes. Next, I used to listen to podcasts just to gather things I could talk about. But not anyway. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But not anymore. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I used to use podcast as conversation fuel. But I don't do that now. I don't know if that's an improvement. Next corner is Hikimeshi. Yesterday I had omelette. It involved onion, green pepper, minced pork, ground meat, and my favorite food. So it was amazing. Thank you for listening. Please follow this program again.